All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to talk about Gervonta Davis and Terence Crawford and the announcements that came out yesterday about their fight cards. And let me tell you, two pay-per-views in December. One is a pay-per-view, and the other one, according to some people that I talked to, is not so much. And an embarrassing difference between the two products that you're being offered. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division and the 147-pound division, talking about Gervonta Tank Davis and Terence Crawford, who both will be fighting this month, back-to-back weeks, in what my partner has called the Battle of the Pay-Per-Views. And after a lot of talking about what was going to happen on both sides of this, man, it is embarrassing. Let's talk about that. But before I do, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you so much for your continued support on the channel. It really, really does mean a lot, man. This video I'm going to do to a longtime subscriber, Devin Blocker. What's good, Devin Blocker? Hope you're doing well, brother. Thank you for the support, you and Herbert Johnson. Also, thank you to everybody that's in the live streams that we do pretty much every day. Thank you guys for your support and the super. Thank you for supporting the channel in your super chats and your cash apps and the super thanks, which you can see down for these type of videos, the little heart and the dollar sign below. Definitely important to keeping the channel churning and going. But thank you guys so much. And let's get into the subject matter of the video. All right, man. So having some good conversations about boxing yesterday, because as you know, this particular channel, man, we have a lot of boxing fans, a lot of people that have a lot of experience in boxing that you get it to talk to. So sometimes I like to share with some information that I get from guys that are really, really, I think, important to understand. And that is that there has been a battle going on over the last 8 months or so, maybe a year, where people have been really lighting in to the PBC about their fight cards and how fighters are not getting dates and how their pay-per-views aren't worth anything and how they're going out of boxing, and all of that stuff has been going on and on and on. Meanwhile, there is a new app that came out, or I guess the app has been here for a while, but wound up stealing a fight from the PBC. And that is one of the biggest fights in boxing, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. And having Terence Crawford go to this app called BLK Prime and make a fight with David Avenation. And that fight is going to be on December 10th, this weekend, right? So yesterday, though, the fight card, which we knew was going to take place between Gervonta Davis and Hector Garcia, which, by the way, did not get announced until after Terence Crawford pulled out of the Errol Spence Jr. fight. We finally got to see what the card is. So now you have Terence Crawford's fight on December 10th, and you have Gervonta Davis's fight card on December 17th. One is going to cost $40 to buy. The other one, I don't know what the price is yet, but I'm going to assume it's around the usual $79 for the fight card. And let me tell you, man, from everybody that I've talked to, and specifically my guy, it is an embarrassment between the two of those cards. There is no comparison between the quality of one card versus the quality of the other. And let's put it this way, the PBC did not lose. For an organization that is supposed to be going broke and not having any money, not signing anybody, and an organization on a channel that is supposed to be going out of business, that, where it's being taken over by a merger and is going to fall apart, they sure did find a way to give us a Don King type of fight card on December 17th. Now, if you don't know what I mean by a Don King's type of fight card, it's one where you can actually go to the fight early and watch all of the fights and enjoy yourself for a few hours of boxing, and not one of these fight cards where you do not care about what's going on in the undercard. The undercard can start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The main event will be 11 o'clock at night. And from 2 to 11 o'clock is a bunch of fights you're not interested in, right? A bunch of either prospects or fighters like tomato can fighters beat up on each other. All of that stuff. That's kind of what you see on DAZN. So what you see on the Terence Crawford fight is exactly that. You see one fighter that you want to see in a fight that you think is more than likely not going to be a competitive fight. That's Terence Crawford versus David Avenation. And that's it. After that, you have Chris Cyborg versus somebody, is MMA fighter versus some other young lady whose name I don't know. You have Steve So Cold Nelson, who's on Terence Crawford's card, and I think he seems like a nice guy. Have seen him fight before, but not an upper echelon fight. Fighting a guy that is a journeyman. And then you've got several other journeyman fights on there between people they're probably pulling out of Kansas City or St. Louis gyms just to round off the card, where the vast majority of the money of that card is being spent on Terence Crawford to fight somebody that we know he's going to beat. But then you compare that to the fight card that's going on with the PBC and with Gervonta Davis. You have Gervonta Davis versus Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia is a reigning world champion. You have on the undercard, besides that, you have Jaron Ennis, who's fighting Karine. I'm not even going to pronounce his last name. This is one of the best up-and-coming fighters in the world that you get to see in the co-main event. The fight, don't know how competitive the fight is going to be. Don't suspect that it is particularly going to be that competitive, but it is the number 4 guy in the IBF. Followed by that, you have a multi-divisional world champion and Demetrius Andrade fighting before that. Before that, I do believe that you're going to have Speedy Rashidi Ellis on the card. You're also going to have Lamont Peterson. You're going to have Lamont Peterson, you're going to have Anthony Peterson, the Peterson brothers from DC, and you're going to have a young up-and-coming fighter prospect called by the name of Jalil Hackett on the card. Now, some people are fans of different things, right? And that is a reasonable thing. You can be a fan of this, or I can like that about boxing. Some people like the little weight classes and love the Japanese fighters. Some people like, just only like really watch heavyweights. I like American boxing. And I definitely like American boxing out of the East Coast, out of the Midwest, out of Texas. I enjoy watching those guys fight. And these do, especially in the 147-pound division, the 135, 140-pound division, and the 160, 168-pound division. I enjoy those fights. So for me, the opportunity to see each one of these guys in person and be able to see these dudes fight back to back to back is something that I find very, very interesting, man, and I think is well worth my money. If I wind up watching it on pay-per-view, man, I'll pay $79 for that. Without a doubt, I'll pay $79 for that and think that and honestly, I suspect that I will have gotten my money's worth for sure. If I went to the fight card, man, that's going to be an electric fight card, man, because there's a whole lot of hometown guys there. It's just going to be, I think that's just a fantastic fight card, man. But so you have all of this talk about what channels are taking over boxing and how they're gonna, because they get one of the big fighters to go over there instead of taking the biggest fight in boxing or the biggest fight in American boxing, at the very least, taking David Avenation fight in something that you're only going to buy really if you just want to support that fighter, versus something where I'm going to buy the fight because you want to see a bunch of fighters in fights. So anyway, man, to me, I agree with my guy. It's just such a big difference between these two fight cards that it illustrates the price. And even in the price, the $40 versus the $79, if that's what it winds up being priced, dude, I'll take the $79 over paying $40 for that. And it is what it is, man. If Gervonta Davis, and this is his first fight card, promoting his first fight card on GTD Promotions, man, that is a heck of a breakout party, man, on that particular fight card. And Terence Crawford's not so much, but hey, maybe If we continue to get these type of fight cards that are lined up by Gervonta and it does very well, then it may flow over to other people and we can start getting some more Don King type of fight cards. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.